I want to talk about the top 5 new LLC business loans that approve massive amounts with low documentation.
One in a million, one in a million, one in a million. You know they're coming up to me, cause I'm just the kind of flower that's stinging in the beat, but the rhythm's getting higher. Go, 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 go. One in a million, one in a million, one in a million, one in a million, one in a million.
Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka. Now let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about the top 5 new LLC business loans that approve big amounts with low documentation. Number 5, we have Balboa Capital. Our score, 7.9 over 10. It's really important to understand that when you think about Balboa Capital, you want to think about large amounts. Okay, for your new LLC, they don't ask for a lot of documentation, and they have large amounts. I'm talking about loans up to $250,000 for your new LLC. It's very important, and you have a trifecta here. You have 3 steps to follow. Okay, you apply online for funding. So you can actually, they have several products, and you can choose which one fits your new LLC business, okay? And you will get a credit decision. That's the second step of the trifecta. So they have a streamlined process that speeds up the credit decision process, okay? You don't have to wait for long. Probably within a day, they will just give you a call if they need additional documentation, okay? And the third leg of this trifecta is you'll receive your funds. It's very important. And the cool thing is, in some cases, they might actually pre-approve you. So we're talking about a soft pull, okay? So the bottom line here is that you have a simple application process. All credit scores are considered. Same day funding and low documentation. Very important, okay? Because everybody knows when you have a new LLC, you don't have a lot of documentation in some cases, right? But you need access to funding. And so Balboa Capital will take care of that, okay? So they actually think about what's the best way to actually serve you monetarily to give you the loan that you need. Just so you know, the Balboa Capital is actually a division of Ameris Bank, okay, which is a top-rated business lender specializing in small business loans, okay? So when you think about Balboa Capital, you have loans from $5,000 to $250,000, same-day funding, easy online application, very important. All credits are considered, 1-hour approval decisions possible, okay? And I'm talking about low documentation, okay? Competitive rates, no hidden fees. So the thing here, the real difference in terms of the service that Balboa Capital gives is that, you know, collateral is needed only for a few loans. But otherwise, we are talking about unsecured business loans for your new LLC, okay? And the funding time can be the same day, okay? And they also have flexible repayments options. Fantastic. Number 4, we have here Toro Capital. Our score, 8.1 over 10. Toro is another good player that we have reviewed on this show before. And if you are interested in learning more about Toro, you can go and just watch the video about the Toro Capital. Fantastic video. But when you think about Toro, you are having for your new LLC business, you can borrow up to $125,000 in startup capital. This is kind of cool, okay? So they actually offer new businesses and startup funding to get off the ground. What we love about Toro is that they're constantly innovating. I mean, I'm telling you, if you're a new LLC and you just want to get a loan with low documentation, Toro should be a place to consider, okay? And the thing is that they have they have a loan rep, financing specialist who will help you along the way, so you are never alone, okay? And they are actually one of the few companies who help you as a new LLC businesses obtain capital, okay? They are there for you. They understand your predicaments. They understand the kind of challenges you're going through, okay? And that's what you want sometimes in a lender who understands the ups and downs, all the challenges, all the hurdles that you are going through. And Toro Capital is there for you. So Toro Capital will help you in terms of funding for development. So if you have a business idea, you can turn the idea and dream of owning a business into reality. So they'll take care of business development costs. They'll help you make critical purchases in terms of funding. They'll help you get all the licensing, the patents, and the trademarks. What I'm trying to say here is that they help you to get all of those necessary operating processes off the ground with low documentation. Okay. They also provide the cash flow you need for operations. So if you're a startup, they will help you with technology investments, staffing and office space, advertising, and marketing. I'm speaking here about the use of loan proceeds for your new LLC business, okay? They can also help you in some cases for investments. In other words, if you want to purchase another business and you're trying to grow through acquisition, this is also something that Toro Capital can help you with. Okay, they can actually help you, give you the money that you need for down payments or acquisition, franchise investments, partnership in capital. So no paperwork, no assets, no appraisal, no headache. This is totally unsecured loan. Okay, so if you are interested in Toro, just give them a call and see what kind of funding programs they have for you. Number 3, we have here Lendio. Our score 8.5 over 10. So what we love with the Lendio is that Lendio is a marketplace, wonderful marketplace. They work with more than 75 lenders. So basically you have the flexibility of counting on several lenders, not just one, because Toro Capital and Balboa Capital are single lenders. They're not marketplaces, okay? But when you think about Lendio, you are thinking about a marketplace. Think about a shopping mall for lenders, okay? So they have a trifecta also with Lendio. So basically, when we talk about Lendio, for your new LLC business, I want you to think about more than 10 types of funding options, in other words, loans. You have more than 75 lenders and countless opportunities, all from one simple application. So Lendio centralizes the whole process, right? So you actually have a single application, and your application is dispatched to their network of lenders. And chances are the lender who is interested in your application, in your profile, will get back to you, and that's where the actual work starts. So you fill out their application. You respond to their request for additional work, but again, all these things is done with low documentation, and you get the loan that you need. Okay, so it takes about 15 minutes to fill out one simple application. There is no fee or obligation, and it will not impact your credit. Lendio is compensated through the banks. Okay, and that's what it is. So you apply for free in 15 minutes. Okay, and you can have also a soft pull, so you can test the waters to see what kind of loan you could get for your new LLC business. Okay, so that's the first part. Second part is you compare options from their lender network. Okay, you explore business loan options from more than 75 lenders, and Lendio, the cool thing is Lendio is on your side all along the way. They will help you choose the best loan for you. And number 3, you get funded. Okay, so you get funded in as little as 24 hours. Once approved by your lender, you can get the capital you need in as little as 1 day. Okay, so this is kind of cool. So we're talking about a streamlined process, very fast, very efficient, that has been around for a while. Okay, and that has served countless, I'm talking about thousands of small businesses like yours, new LLCs like yours, get the funding they need. I want to talk to you about number 2. We have Fora Capital or Fora Financial. Our score 8.9 over 10. So when you think about Fora Financial, they ask for minimum documentation. Okay, they ask for required financial statements. They ask for bank statements. So this is really cool. They always ask that. So this is really important. So let me just kind of recap here. For Balboa Capital, they ask for financial statements and bank statements. Okay, that's the minimum documentation required. For Toro, they ask for business plan and financial statements. Again, that's the minimum documentation required. For Lendio, they ask for tax returns and bank statements. Okay, and for Financial, they ask financial statements and bank statements. Very important. So let's talk about Foro now. Foro is kind of cool. I mean, Foro, you can borrow from Fora Financial, not Foro. Fora Financials, you can actually borrow from $5,000 to $750,000 for your new LLC business. Okay, it's very important, and approval happens within 72 hours. This is pretty cool, and the application is fast. It's simple and safe. We love that. We love the transparency overall when it comes to Fora Financial. They're doing a good job. They have a proprietary software that actually monitor your activity in real time and gives you actually the loan that you deserve based on your profile. Okay, and Fora Financial will give you a small business loan, again, that goes all the way to $750,000. Okay, and no restrictions on use. 24-hour approval. It's free, no obligation quote. They give you a quote. In other words, you have a soft pull. Okay, you have terms up to 15 months. So be really ready to pay back the loan. You only have 15 months. Early payoff discounts. No collateral required. Approval not solely credit based. We love that. So they actually will approve you not just based on your FICO score. They will actually do some. They will actually, give you the funds based on something else. Besides the small business loan, they also offer merchant cash advances. Okay, and so this is really good, especially if you have accounts receivable or if your new LLC business sells a lot through gets its revenue through electronic means. I'm talking about credit card sales, debit card sales. This is kind of cool. So they will provide you with the working capital you need from $5,000 to $750,000. Okay, and we love the fact that you have no set terms, 24-hour approval. Okay, early payoff discounts, no restrictions on use, approval not based solely on credit, and you have a free, no obligation code. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. I'm still talking to you today about 5 new LLC business loans that approve massive amounts with low documentation. Number 1, we have Biz to Credit. Our score, 9.2 over 10. The minimum documentation required. You have financial statements and tax returns. And here we are speaking about financial statements, projected financial statements for the new LLC business, and tax returns, personal tax returns. Okay, and you with Biz to Credit, you have about 4 to 5 minutes application. Very simple, very fast. Okay, so the cool thing is they have 3 steps. Step number 1, you get pre-qualified. Step number 2, you got to complete an online application that takes about 15 minutes. Step number 3, you get funded under 24 hours. Think about that. That's kind of cool. That's really fast too. And loan amounts oscillates from $25,000 to $500,000. Okay, this is really good. And the rates start at 7.99%. This is kind of cool. It's really decent. And you are getting funded within 72 hours. So the whole thing can happen within 3 days if you have the right documentation. Okay. And what we love is that there are term loans give established and new LLC businesses the financial freedom to grow. The cool thing is you gotta talk to a Biz to Credit agent though. If you're a new LLC, you have to talk to them to make sure that their products fit your particular profile. Okay, they can give you the cash to grow your business, to access you can access the full cash amount upfront. You can use the money for a broad range of business needs. This is kind of cool, and these loans help you free up operational cash flows, and you can benefit from tax deductible interest. But again, you have to talk to Biz to Credit to make sure that you qualify. Your new LLC qualifies for their programs, okay? Because depending on where you live and where you actually operate from in the country, they might, or in the industry you're in, they might say, well, your industry or your location does not fit our lending program. So that's why it's important. So the bottom line here, and this is very important because a term loan from Biz to Credit, normally, they want you to have annual revenue greater than $250,000. They want you to have a credit score of a 660 or above, and they want you to be at least 18 months in business. But those 3 requirements can be waived. We have done it multiple times. They can waive that if you provide a solid, business plan, financial statements, and tax returns to Biz to Credit. Okay, very important. let me give you an overview before we close today's conversation. And I want to talk to you about how do you get a new LLC business loan that approves massive amounts with low documentation. Today I've given you amounts that go from 5,000 all the way to $750,000. Okay, this is pretty consequential and this is really important. And one thing you want to do is, how do you get a startup business loan in very quickly? Well, you need to evaluate what kind of loan you need for your new LLC business. You got to think about, you have a constellation of loans. You have online term loans. You have business lines of credit. You have SBA loans, okay? SBA 7A loans. You have SBA micro loans, and you have asset-based financing. Now, if you are a new LLC business, the SBA loans are a little complicated to get, so you probably want to steer clear of those loans. But so once you identify what kind of loans you need, you want to check your business and personal credit scores. This is important. We're not talking just about your business, your credit score personally, but also your business credit scores. Even if you are a new LLC, you still want to have a DUNS number. You still want to try to start constituting your paydex score. You still want to have an entry in Experian business credits database, in Equifax business credit database. So those are important elements. And when we talk about new LLC, you could be 6 months old or 9 months old. Your business can be 6 months old or 9 months old. It all matters, okay? Or you could be just a brand new business, okay? Gather and prepared the required documents. It's important now. The exact documents required to get you a business loan for your new LLC business vary by lender. This is why you want to contact the lender and have a clear conversation. And you also want to research and compare lenders. This is important because in today's conversation, I've given you 5 lenders that actually lend massive amounts to new LLC businesses with low documentation. But you still want to do your research. You want to make sure that you are comfortable with the APR they're charging, your annual percentage rates, the fees and other costs that they may have, and most importantly, the lender reputation. Yeah, because you really want to do your due diligence before, okay? And because if you're a new LLC, you don't want to compromise your future reputation with quote unquote a bad lender, okay? And after you've done that, submit your application. So once you actually choose a lender, familiarize yourself with their application process and make sure you compile the correct documentation. Before I close today's conversation, let me give you a few pro tips. So for your new LLC business, if you're trying to get approved for massive amounts with low documentation, understand that the lender has some requirements, but it's up to you to actually make sure that you have the proper application package, okay? Now, low documentation doesn't mean that if you have more documentation, you don't submit it. Low documentation just means that the minimum requirements are very low. Okay, but if you have more, go ahead and use them. If you have more documents, go ahead and use them. It's important, okay? The lender might ask you why you are applying for the loan, okay? How the loan proceeds be used, what assets need to be purchased, and who are your suppliers, okay? Who are the members of your management team? And they might have some question about your personal background. Okay, personal backgrounds of all the equity holders in the business, in the new LLC business. If you are a single member LLC, that's fine. So it's only you. But if you are a multi-member LLC, they might want to have some kind of important documentation, important information about the major players in your business. Okay, and so they might ask for resumes, for example, so they have evidence of what's going on. They might ask for a business plan. Okay, a business plan, whether it is for a lender or for yourself, it's always important because it is a navigational tool. It is a GPS that allows you to know exactly whether you are on target or off target. So it's pretty cool. So even if you are trying to get a loan, even if you're not trying to get a loan, a business loan for your new LLC, I suggest that you still write or have somebody write a compelling business plan for you. Okay, so in some cases, they might ask you for your business credit reports, but you are new, so you probably don't have them. Your income tax returns. We are speaking about your personal 1040s or personal 1040s for all the major players in your new LLC business. If it is a a multi-member LLC, and they might want to ask you to provide some projected financial statements, okay? Not actual financial statements, but projected, okay? We're talking about projected balance sheet, income statement, cash flow statements, bank statements, and they might want to see your accounts receivable and accounts payable in some cases. Okay, again, everything can be projected or actual. It depends on your business. They might ask you for collateral, but since you're new, you don't really have collateral that much at the business level. Maybe you want to pledge collateral or personal collateral. That's totally possible. And some other legal documents about your organization. So we're talking about articles of incorporation, copies of contracts you have with any third party, franchise agreements, commercial leases, your organizing documents, okay, business licenses and registrations required for you to conduct business. Those are important elements. Before I close today's conversation, I want to acquaint you with the loan evaluation approach we use on this show. How do we evaluate loans, business loans? How do we categorize business loans? How do we list business loans? Check out this video to learn more. All right, so today I talked to you about the 5 new LLC business loans that approve massive amounts with low documentation. Number 1, Biz to Credit, 9.2 over 10. Number 2, Fora Financial, 8.9 over 10. Number 3, Lendio, 8.5 over 10. Number 4, Toro Capital, 8.1 over 10. Number 5, Balboa Capital, 7.9 over 10. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I'll speak to you another time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.